Without messing around, here's some of the riskiest spots to do graffiti. The Brooklyn Bridge. The state of New York makes it difficult enough to get up with their vandalism squad. At the dangers of heights, the Brooklyn Bridge is easily one of the most dangerous places to bring a can of paint. Despite the danger, or perhaps because of it, heaps of riders have all managed to get their names on the bridge towers. Though it's one of those places where apparently you do get that kind of notoriety that you would expect to get. Singapore. Singapore is known for having some of the strictest laws, especially regarding the city's cleanliness. Punishments can range from $1,000 fines for even littering in the streets to up to 3 years in jail if you're an illegal graffiti writer. A random graffiti writer received a 3-year sentence when he was arrested in Singapore for doing graffiti, just for doing some tags. He got 3 years in a Singapore prison. The Metlack Bridge. I mentioned this in a lot of videos, and this can pretty much go for any type of bridge out there, but this one just always seems to be the one that everyone talks about, especially online when it comes to bridges and graffiti. But the Metlack Bridge in Mexico is one of the most dangerous places where riders have painted. It is ranked as one of the highest bridges in the world at 430 feet, though of course there is many different bridges all over the world that are much higher than that. And obviously these pictures of the people climbing this bridge above the massive drop where the canyon is below is enough to make you queasy. Billboards. With great risk comes great reward. Not only are billboards dangerous for their sheer height, but they also pose a problem of visibility. If you get caught painting a billboard, which is easy considering there's little to no cover in terms of coverage, and there's only one exit most of the time, you'll be easily seen. Pieces on billboards always involve scaling a ladder, if not an entire building. Billboard spots come with a bunch of different risks, and the risks are pretty obvious. The main thing being it is up high. And if you're just doing a billboard, chances are you won't have a harness on you. Freeways. Because of the consistent traffic, freeways and their adjacent areas are highly sought after by riders who want maximum exposure. Steady traffic also increases the chances that a cop will catch you in the act, but that's not the only dangerous thing when it comes to hitting freeways with graffiti. Depending on the spot, you have to remember that you're right next to a road with cars going more than 100 kilometers per hour, right next to you. But more so the risk of a cop seeing you and pulling over, or someone even seeing you and calling the cops on you. Sometimes the cops might rock up right where you're painting. By that point, you should be out of there. It is still risky though, that's why it's on this list. New York City subways. Since the 90s, New York has been a difficult place to paint trains because of the notorious vandal squad who keeps the city and subway free of graffiti. Today, spotting a painted train is rare, and the MTA cracked down on anyone who brings a can of paint to the subways. If anyone so happens to get searched while they're on the subways in New York City, and they so happen to have any type of graffiti supply on them, they tend to get the police involved, and that's when serious consequences happen. So that's why they deem New York City subways as one of the most risky places to do graffiti in any type of subway system worldwide. London Underground. Much like the NYPD and the MTA have made it difficult for people to paint their graffiti on trains in London. Also, the obvious popularization of CCTV in London makes it easy for graffiti writers to get caught. But much like in New York, it is rare to find a painted train in the city of London, though it is still possible. Like many other cities around the world, London Underground, the train system itself, has implemented many measures to stop graffiti from happening, which makes it pretty damn risky, because it's a little bit more than a slap on the wrist if you get caught doing graffiti there. Miami. The city of Miami is a reminder of the paradox that exists between legal street art and illegal graffiti. They have their legal stuff, and they obviously support their legal graffiti, but when it comes to illegal graffiti, they are so strict against it. A lot of people call the police around there, depending on the area. Pretty risky spot apparently. Los Angeles. Gangs and police already make LA a tough place to get up, not to mention the constant buffing that happens there. The city also has a bunch of Karens, vigilantes, who like to catch people on film. There's a lot of wannabe heroes, especially in LA, that like to take the law into their own hands, sometimes even buffing the graffiti themselves. Due to the zero tolerance of graffiti in LA, getting caught doing graffiti, the cops take it pretty seriously. I was recently in LA and a graffiti writer was telling me a story of the fact that they were painting down in the LA River, and the cops actually went out of their way to come down into the river to specifically arrest them just for doing graffiti. In Australia, if a cop saw us painting in a drain of some sort, it would be like a safety risk for the cops to go down there. So it's actually ridiculous how the cops would go out of their way and come directly down into a drain to physically arrest someone, put them in handcuffs just for doing graffiti. Especially when you're in a drain, you're there to paint at a chill spot. You've specifically gone into a place where not many people would be, just to make sure you weren't hurting anyone or getting in anyone's way or upsetting anyone. It's still illegal, yes, but it's still pretty crazy. Surely there's other crimes to be fighting. Let me know in the comment section below what you think is the most riskiest spot to do graffiti. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you very much for watching. Have a great day and have a good one. If you made it to the end, leave a little comment saying, wow, fan. I don't know.